Hi, dear friends. I am now going to take up an interesting topic for discussion. One of the important questions I get from people with whom I am in contact regarding choice of professional course, whether to choose CA or CMA or CS. This has been going on for quite some time now. And many of the students who pass out 12th standard in particular, they get into this immediate question of what should I do. I'll share my experience with you and I'll give you some inputs which will enable you to decide on which course would be good for you. Actually speaking, going by my experience over the last 30 years since I got qualified, you may be aware that I am a triplet. I am a CA, CMA, CS, and I have gone through all these three courses, so I believe that I can ably guide you in choosing the right course. Now, the basic question I ask to my students who are interested in pursuing the professional courses, first of all, goal setting. You should enter into this course with a reasonable aim and goal that yes, I should complete professional course. Many students who pass out of the class 12th is quite young and they are basically playful and all that, that's fine. But you need to at least have an element of goal setting in your mind. Okay, I should somehow become a professional. That is good enough. Because at a tender age of 18 years or so, you may not be matured enough to really go on a big action plan and all that. I don't want that from your side. At least a basic requirement of yes, I want to become a professional. That is good enough. And the second thing that we need to consider is, so the right first thing I am asking you is to have a goal. Second thing you need is the right attitude towards the course. Very, very important. So you need to choose the course because you are willing to become a professional. And secondly, it is not just a fancy thing to do like my neighbor is doing a professional course or my friend is doing a professional course, so I want to do a professional course. No. Your attitude towards the course is very, very important. You have to be really, really sincere towards the course. You have to set up your mind for that. That's the second thing. The third thing is, all these three courses are equally challenging and tough. I cannot say, if you ask me a question, which course is easier, I cannot say CA or CMA or CS is easier. Rather, I put it differently. All these three courses are challenging and tough. So that means that you cannot choose a course assuming that it's easy. If somebody is going to tell you that one course is easier than the other, then they are giving you a false information. Don't get carried away by that. There may be a slight variation in terms of pass percentage, in terms of challenge, tough, but that doesn't really matter. Because if you are a student who is strong enough to handle CMA course, then you are equally strong enough to handle CA and equally strong enough to handle CS, and whichever way you look at it. So if you want to choose CA, and you can handle CMA and CS. If you choose CS, you can handle CA and CMA. So the point is, it's not the question of which course is easier. No. So don't choose a course assuming that some course is easier than the other. Maybe a slight variation is there, but that doesn't really matter. So that means for all these three courses, we are going to put in requisite efforts and we are going to work hard on it. So that being the case, then what becomes a criteria to choose? Now I'll come to the criteria for choosing the course. By virtue of your basic skill set, you may be a student who is very good in theory, or you may be a student who is very good in practical papers rather, or you may be a student who is good in both. So that has to be considered before you decide on a course. Typically a course like CA or CMA has got a combination of, even CS for that matter, has a combination of practical papers and theory papers. But if you are got a good liking for law, and if you are a very good person you consider yourself as very strong in theory, then the first choice ideally can be for you CS. Because typically CS requires a lot of reading and a lot of going through of enactments, legal procedures and all that. So it is something where not everybody would be equally interested in such a course. So if you feel that you are a student who is strong in theory and like reading books a lot, and you have a sort of an interest towards law and all that, then you can very well choose CS as a first option. But even CS has got practical papers like corporate and management accounting, taxation, financial management and all that. So CS also has got a set of practical papers and theory papers, but I would say more towards theory papers. So if you feel you are strong in theory and you have a penchant for reading books, a lot of books, and have an orientation towards law and all that subject, then CS would be a good choice for you. And secondly, if you think that you are not so strong in theory, you know it better, and probably you feel that I don't feel like reading every time, I am more happy and comfortable with working out problems like accounting, costing, etc., then you can choose between CMA and CA. And don't forget the fact that each of these courses involves an investment of 4 to 5 years of time before you qualify and come out and go for a job or practice. And each of these courses, 3 courses, offers you job opportunities and also opportunities to practice on your own. See, opportunities are there everywhere. Don't worry about opportunities, whether you are a CA or CMA or CS. It is your skill set, it is your aptitude which is going to determine your altitude. So whether you are a cost accountant or a chartered accountant or a cost accountant, you need to have in you that right attitude. And if you have that, you can shine as a company secretary or as a cost accountant or as a chartered accountant. So don't worry about that part. Once you qualify yourself, if you are going to really be doing a good job, then you are going to grow in your career, whichever way you look at it, either as a practicing professional or in job. So that is not to be worried at all. But what is to be thought about is, before you qualify yourself, you need to do certain things right. So if you choose CMA or CA, you have similar opportunities, and don't worry about, as I said, a minor variation here and there. That should not be the factor for you to decide, okay, I will go for CA or CMA or CS. Opportunities are plenty, okay, believe me. So whichever course you take, you have a job opportunity or practicing opportunity, but you should do it right, which anyway we have to do. So even if you are a CA or CMA or CS, if you are not going to do your job properly, you are not going to shine in your career. So that is very common. So don't worry about what is it in store for you after you qualify. That should not be the criteria for deciding. So don't choose a course just because A qualification has got a better market value than B qualification or C qualification. In fact, my first qualification was CMA. As soon as I qualified as a CMA, I got a job opportunity in a leading company in India, one of the best groups in India. I was hardly 19, 20 years old at that time. Opportunity was there, I am talking about 30 years before itself. So, had I joined that company, I would have been probably a CFO of that company today. Who knows? God knows. So, what I am trying to give you as an example is, opportunity is there. If you are proving yourself as a meritorious person with good skill set and a lot of right attitude in you, then anybody would choose you for a job or practice. Whenever somebody wants to choose you as their professional support, a client wants to take your services, he will be happy if you are having the right skill set and knowledge and all that. So opportunities are plenty, opportunities are equal. So that is not a deciding factor. Company secretaries have got very good opportunities. They have job opportunities, they have practicing opportunities. CMA has got job opportunities, practicing opportunities. CA has got job opportunities, practicing opportunities. Okay, so don't go by what opportunity is going to offer you. It is you who is going to decide that later after you qualify. So then what does it mean again? So going by pass percentage, you say that no, CA Institute is offering only limited percentage of pass, CMA Institute. All these 3 professional courses have got similar pass percentage broadly. So then how does it matter? Don't get carried away by false news that no, this is the toughest course, you have to, in fact, to be honest with you, I have passed all the 3 courses in the first attempt. All the 3 courses, right from foundation up to final. So if I am going to tell you that these courses are tough, then I am misguiding you. Or rather, if I say that you cannot pass these exams, then I am misguiding you. There are many of professional students who have passed these exams in the first attempt with rank and all that. So it is possible. Then, so the point is here, what is your personal interest? That is an important criteria. I like accounting, I choose CA or CMA. I like law and theory and legal and compliance matters, I choose CS. And for heaven's sake, please, my dear students, don't get carried away by people who tell you some information which is incorrect. You need to really consult people like us. We are offering you counseling services also, and you need to contact good people who got relevant experience in the field. To be honest with you, I have at every point of time in my, right from my 12th standard, I have touched base with the right people and got their advice and counseling, which has given me the right direction, and that is what has taken me to this height. So don't talk to someone who is projecting something as tough and all that. Don't ever go to them. You come to the right person. You identify people who can guide you rightly, talk to them, get their advice, and take your next career step. So the point here is, all these three courses have got equivalent value. All these three courses are equally tough. That is why they have equivalent value. All these three courses are wonderful, and you shouldn't hesitate to choose any course for that matter on any criteria other than what it personally suits you. In fact, for me, honestly, all these three courses, I had a challenging time in preparing for it. In fact, ACS, I had a tough time in preparing for it because I need to read a lot. Luckily, I was reasonably good in theory, so I could manage it. CA, volume. The big challenge in CA is a huge volume. I had to manage that. CMA is got again huge volume and challenging. In fact, many students used to say that no, the results are very bad. Of course, in CMA and equally CA or CS. Can you ever tell me that which institute offers the best results? There is no such conclusive evidence that one of these institutes is offering the best results, which you can, then I would suggest you to go and join there. No. So without data, without understanding this, then don't decide on hearsay. Are you clear? So I always tell my students, whether it is a first job or whether it is a first course, whatever you do, professional course, you need not worry about choices. The first job what you get, anything is learning. The first job what you get, you're going to learn, whether it is an internal audit or whether it is accounting or whether it is financial management or funding or whatever, everything is a learning experience. Similarly, your course, CA or CMA or CS, then you do the other course afterwards, or halfway through this course, you do the next course. So the world is wide open. So don't narrow yourself. Don't narrow yourself into which is the best, which is the easiest. No, that is not the way you look at a course. Choose a course that you personally like for the reasons I already specified, and go ahead, and in the course of time, if you feel that I can also do the other one, do it. Many of my students are also triplets, and at least two, CA, CS, CA, CS and CMA. So the basic thing they used to tell me is, sir, I am happy that you are a triplet, I would also like to become one. So if you do a course like CA, you can automatically later choose CMA and CS and complete it also, or whichever way you want to. Correct? So that is my kind suggestion to all of you, and choose the one which you like, do it first, and then come to the next if required, and the next if you further want it to be done. And there's nothing to stop you from doing all these three courses. It is your interest, you are doing it, and you are going to spend time, effort, and you are going to achieve it. Correct? So be positive in your approach. Approach any course with the hope that it is going to offer you the best. Don't choose with wrong criteria. That's what I request all of you. If you have still any doubts on this, you can very well reach me, and of course our website details I can share with you, www.guruscoaching.com. You can have all the details there. Feel free to reach us. Okay, take care and all the best. See you. Bye.